secure your financing first. Go to the bank. Figure out what you can do. Put the forms in. Like, just talk to your community members. Like, what are we worth? What can we do? That's hard sometimes for community members. Trust me. Like, people who, to sit together with 10 people and be like, well, what do you have? Like, what are you worth? It's best sometimes to pick one person and say, all right, you look at all the paperwork. All right, this one, where you go to a mortgage broker, you go to a bank, you go to somebody and say, what are we worth? Just try it. It's only a phone call. It's only effort. It's only doing. But we have so much difficulty in doing. How many people are like, this next year I'm going to do this. Just do it tomorrow. Gather community statements. That's everybody's paperwork, your bank statements. Get an approval letter from a bank saying you're qualified for a certain amount. It doesn't mean that's what you're going with. Doesn't mean that's the road. But then you know. And you may not know what you're worth. Like, oh my God, this bank wants to give us, they'll give us for all of our statements. We have 4 people. For us, it was like, for this $1 million property, they're like, give me 4 people that make 50 grand a year and that can give me 2 years of tax statements. Like, can you do that? And it was actually difficult, but not too difficult. It was like, all right, for $1 million, I just need 4 people to make 50 grand. And that was sort of the thing. Don't listen to those numbers. Like, don't take that as like, I don't want anybody to walk away from anything and be like, well, he said this, and that doesn't apply to me. I can't make that. Like, bring it in, Banks may want several people to qualify. I just said that. Next. Community, did you wish to buy a property and then rent the rooms? Do you want to have this amazing space? What if I came in here and bought this property, rented to my friends? Have community. But without the ownership, well, I'll tell you what, I'll have control, and the amazing amount of time we spend in meetings and communicating about whether or not a bush is allowed to come out of the ground or not might end. But would this $100,000 kitchen show up if Yona's property? Would people have this vibration to say, hey, Yona's got this cool little thing going on? Would that have shown up? Would all this have shown up? Would all this like juicy energy from each of the members, Jessica, Amy, Rebecca's art, Sila's finance, Sean's building ability, Kyle's love, like all this ability from all these people, when they own this, it's like, this is my piece of the pie, this is my land, I'm gonna put it into it. And that's where I'd really like to offer to you guys. You're gonna see and be so much more. It's an opportunity to grow past what you know, to build past what you can dream yourself. Dream is a collective, and get the collective help to build your dream and everybody else's. Next. Rising interest rates. So $1 million loan, 30-year, 10% down, 30-year loan, 10% down with tax and insurance at 5%. This sort of average is actually lower now, 3.75%. But that's about $6 grand a month, to give you an idea. $6 grand a month to make your nut, as they say. Right now we got even lower rates than that. At 7%, at 10%, $9,000 a month. At 15%, 12. So at 15%, just imagine you can either have half the property or pay twice as much. Rates in the 80s went to 18%. My mother had that loan, right? I don't know if you remember, but in Texas, 18%. You're like, 18%? This has been low for a long time. Well, it's not going to be forever. And now with the housing rate's so low, interest rate's so low, it's time to do MB. It's not time just to like say next year. Buy what you can afford. Don't buy a property knowing that you're going to build a business. Don't buy. I highly recommend everybody. You come here, buy $1 million property, and it's $800 a month. You buy a $3 million property, and you definitely need to make more money every month. And everybody comes in, and I see it all the time. They're like, you know what? I'm going to have a business. I'm going to grow something. I'm going to grow anything. I'm going to like make money happen, have events. But you need to have it. Like, look at what you can have right now. All this, it's enough. You can have more, but it's enough. And you can build from there. Speaking about the leverage, what happens when I'm worth, we are worth $300,000 more in this property with the, with the equity? We go to the bank. I can take that $300,000, get a $3 million loan. like that. I can do that. And then that whole side of the mountain is ours. You know, you can grow from there and leave yourself room to grow, but don't come in and set yourself up for failure. You can all afford $800 a month. You know, and if you can't, you can help each other, right? And if you can't, $50 for a weekend party for 200 friends. What is that?
$1,000.
$10,000. $10,000, $50, $50 from your friends to have a weekend party. That's that's one idea. That's a simple thing. We do that all the time, but hey, come and you could do so much more. You could have this once a month, or something like that, and just hold space. It could be anything, but you have ideas to grow, you have ideas to support, but be able to initially do your $800 a month and then build from there. I'll take that $10,000 and say, build the new space, build the new pool, the new sauna that we're building. Like, do something to improve the land, but don't depend on holding down a $3 or $4 million loan.